All right, so maybe you forgot, you procrastinated, or you have people that you didn't expect coming for Christmas and you need to get gifts. Well, there's still time. And when I got up today, I fully intended on making a video with some pictures and some ideas to give you for your fishermen in the family that you can get them some gifts. But then I got to thinking, well, you know, I've been toying around with starting an Amazon page, so let's go ahead and do that. So what you'll find here is the link that you see right here, and it's down in the description as well, will take you to the Double T Fishing Amazon page. And in there, I've got a 2022 Christmas list, and there's tons of ideas in here. So let's go ahead and go through some of these. Hardcore Double T subscribers, go to the end of the video. I got a deal for you guys as well, so watch it all the way to the end. You're gonna like this. So once you click on the link, it'll take you here, and you'll see gift ideas for Christmas 2022. So go ahead and click on that. That'll be your second click. And from there, I have, I think, 66 items in here. And a lot of these are going to be pretty handy. It starts out with bucket lids and bucket organizers. And those are handy for all of your guys who fish from the bank. Now, if you got a guy that fishes off the boat most of the time, I don't know if that'll be the right gift for them. Then you've got some wool socks. You know, you always want to keep your feet warm, and they make good stocking stuffers. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Anyway, from there you go on, and I'm not going to go over every single gift, but you got a dry bag on there. And for a real stocking stuffer, that little keychain is not a bad deal for $6. Now there's only one item on, well, there's two items on here that are over $100. So you shouldn't be breaking the bank with any one gift in this selection. All right, so these headlights, those are real handy. If your fisherman goes out and fishes at night, he's gonna love you for these headlights, because those are just what you really need. You want something to right on your head where you can click it on and off, because you don't wanna leave it on all the time, but you need it when you're trying to tie a bait on or something like that. So they're really handy. From there, you go into a selection of pliers and different types and sorts. And I'll go ahead, and what I'll do is, as we go through these, I'll highlight some of these, and you can go back and look at them later, of the ones that I know to be pretty good. Because not all these, I don't have all these products personally myself, but I do have quite a few of them. And again, inexpensive stocking stuffers, these little flip cards with all the knots on them, believe it or not, unless you do a lot of fishing, if it's something that you only do a few times a year, you kind of forget those knots. It's not a bad idea to have that in your tackle box or something, because there may be a particular knot that you want to tie and you just can't fully remember it. Or when you get like me and get all this silver hair, you know, it can become a problem. So that tie fast tool, that's kind of expensive, but if you got a fly fisherman in a bunch, he might appreciate having that tool. And those little snips, the, what are those, the Boomerang Tool Company, those are actually pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't think I'd like those, but they work out really well. Now that Tie Pro, the Tie Pro, if you have an older fisherman, again, like myself, these are invaluable for tying on jigs and things like that. And they got some pretty good cutters on them, so that's not a bad gift. They're kind of expensive though, but I really like mine, to be honest with you. Okay, this next bunch, the mystery tackle boxes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of subscription boxes, but I do like the mystery tackle box for you guys, because if you look, there are 4 of them here. And one's for walleye, one's for trout and panfish, one's for largemouth bass, and what's that last one? And one's just an ice fishing box. So you can never go wrong with a subscription box. It's always going to have something in there that they can use. So don't be afraid to go ahead and get one of those. And if you want to get a yearly subscription for them, you can go to the Mystery Tackle Box website and go ahead and pick up a yearly subscription. But if you're going to do that, I suggest you go to Dark Horse Tackle, because Dark Horse Tackle, all the baits are made in the USA. I know the owners personally, they're good guys, and there are really some unique baits in those boxes. And I've got plenty of videos back when I was an affiliate for them. So anyway, dark horse tackle, if you want to get them something, you know, for the full year, that would be a good idea. Unfortunately, you can't get those on Amazon. And that line spooler is something, again, that every fisherman, it doesn't matter whether they fish in the ocean, streams, other than fly fishermen. Fly fishermen wouldn't be able to use it, but that's a good gift just for about anybody. And then you've got the little cooler fold out that's a cooler and a sit down. Those are real handy for the guys who are kind of packing into where they're going. It's really handy because it's light and they can keep their beverages in there. And a lot of people really like those. The eye bobber, that is a fish finder that you put on the end of a line and you cast it out, and it works with your smartphone. So that could be kind of fun for a younger angler or somebody who's got kids. That could be a real fun addition for them from fishing from the bank. It's not for a boat fisherman, no, it's for the guys fishing on the bank. And then we go into some tackle storage. And that first one, that Placeno that mounts on the wall, that is a really nice little unit and it holds 9 rods. So that's not a bad deal there. The other one is a carry case, and I've actually got one of those, and it's pretty handy for like if you're walking out on a jetty, if you're a jetty or a dock fisherman, because you can just put all your gear in there and the rods are right with it. And it's a handy piece of equipment. And then that Rust Creek Creations, that looks like I don't have one. I've got one similar to it, but that's handy just for kind of cleaning up the garage. And I'm sure that some of you guys have got rods that are just scattered all over the side of one wall that you could clean up. And that's a pretty nice little organizer right there. Okay, after that, we get into the kiddos. And I'll tell you what, I cannot remember a kid that I ran into that didn't want to go fishing. Kids love to go fishing. So here's some items for the kiddos. And that one that has a life jacket in there, that's a pretend set. That is not a real life jacket. So do not buy that if you need a real life jacket. That's just a pretend set. But I love those little hats. Those are cute. And kids love a fishing net. So get them their own fishing net and they'll just have a blast with that. Now the fishing poles, you might be thinking, yeah, I can go to Walmart and I can get a $13 Snoopy fishing pole, and you can. But the problem is storing it afterwards. Now these Placenos, they come with their own storage bag and they fold up into a nice, neat little package. And I would suggest getting those because otherwise you're going to have the rods hanging out all over the place. So it's a nice little package you can throw in the trunk of your car, go down to the local pond, let them catch some trout or some little sunfish or something. Have fun with the kiddos. And that's next week's video, by the way. It's going to be a good one. I think you're going to enjoy next week's video with the kids. We had a blast. All right, fish grips and scales. It's hard to go wrong with a fish grip unless you're fishing for only small fish. So the scales, same thing. If you're a bass fisherman or a cat fisherman or something like that and you want to weigh your fish, a good scale is really what you want. Now you'll see these two Rapalas and you'll see a price difference in them. One is the older version and one is the newer version. In other words, one of them, I think you can catalog 5 fish or you can keep 5 fish in the memory. And the other one, you can keep 8 fish, and there's probably some other upgrades to it as well. But that's why there's a price difference. And same thing with the nets a little farther down here. You got a newer version, and it comes with some pliers and whatnot, and it's a little more expensive than the older version. All right, good gloves. Gloves are always needed by fishermen. Can't go wrong with the gloves. It doesn't matter what type of fishing they do if they fish in cold weather. These are all winter type gloves, so they should be good for that. And then we get into a little bit of tackle boxes. Now that first one there, if you got a bass fisherman or you notice they've got all these little plastic bags with plastic worms in them and things like that, they will love this because it helps organize all their soft plastics. And then you got a couple selections for tackle boxes there. And that's the one that's over $100, but I wanted to put it in there because that is a nice tackle box. And if you got a fisherman who goes out on a boat a lot with his buddy, he might really like that because you want to take a lot of tackle with you when you're going out on a boat. The other one's a little smaller, probably a lot easier to handle. Tackle boxes are good. And then you got a couple of backpacks there. So I wanted to point those out. Now, for you hardcore subscribers of mine, all right, this last one, if I wanted to talk about this a little bit, because if you bought one of the package deals with the GT54 and you were thinking, boy, I'd sure like to upgrade to the live scope, and you know, I like the GT54, but I'd really like the GT56. Well, guess what? That package right there, you're going to get all the upgraded equipment that'll go along with the 93 SV or the 106 that you bought, and you would have the most up-to-date equipment. Because that bundle deal, you didn't do bad on that. I'm going to tell you right now, you did okay on that bundle deal, especially if you bought a 106, you saved about $1,000. And with the 93, you saved about $350. So if you're thinking you want to upgrade to live scope, that is the LVS 34 transducer, and that's the GT56 transducer. So that brings you right up to the top level with Garmin, if that's what you want to do. All right, so like always, keep calm and hook 'em, and we'll see you on the next one.